All right, we're starting with our TLSfans.com topic submitted by Debbie Davis. William Shatner, aka Captain James T. Kirk from the original Star Trek, became the oldest person to go into space on Wednesday when he boarded Jeff Bezos, Amazon founder, penis shaped rocket for a 10-minute flight. Shatner got a free flight with two other paying customers, rich white men, as well as Audrey Powers, Blue Origin's vice president. My question to you guys, did the PR stunt pay off or did it miss the mark? Let's start with Gianni Storm.
Yeah, the PR stunt definitely paid off. And Bezos is actually a Star Trek fan.
Yeah. Yeah. Robbie?
You know what? Captain Kirk in space is a brilliant PR campaign to attract the super rich into the next era of leisure travel. But there's a big cost involved with it. And if we got a few more seconds, I'll talk about it.
Yeah, it looks like our friend Lizzie is paused.
Oh my, she is paused. Oh no, there she is.
There, she's back just in time. So, Lizzie, what do you think about Jeff Bezos and this penis shaped rocket?
I mean, what are you going to do? You have what, $60 billion? What else are you going to do? What else are you going to do? I'd go to space, It doesn't bother me at all. It does not bother me at all.
Yeah, I think it paid off too. But did anyone read the ongoing beef with Mr. Sulu, George Takai, basically calling him fat?
You know what though? If you read up on their history, Shatner was a real turd with him during the Star Trek days.
He was.
Barely acknowledging him on set. So I mean, it's not like they are good friends.
Oh, they're horrible. They're enemies. They hate each other. Like, I still thought it was funny.
Body shaming's pushing it, George. Just saying.
I think,
Also,
I'm surprised by George.
Prince William had some choice words for, the space dick travel as well. He thought that the money could be better spent for more philanthropic endeavors. To which I'm just like, dude, you're part of a fake monarchy. I mean, I love the Windsors, but you get paid to be a part of a fake monarchy. So let's chill.
On top of that, I think if I had the opportunity, I would definitely. My wife is against it, but I would definitely want to go.
And it's problematic for me because it would be an amazing experience, but the carbon footprint of launching one person into space in one of these rockets is stupid. It's close to 200 to 300 tons of carbon, and in comparison, the annual carbon footprint that's about the annual footprint of 280 people.
I don't care about all that.
For
10 minutes, man.
I don't drive, so that's my trade-off. I don't drive.
I'm sorry, I'll leave y'all behind with the carbon. I'll leave behind when I go up.
I'm not emitting any toxins, into the atmosphere, so I can go to space. That's my.
All right, let's get to these comments. Let's see if there's some comments online. All right,
I'm gonna grab my placards.
Jacqueline Robinson says, I think this was done out of sentimental reasons because a lot of people are Trekkies. Olivia says he is fat.
And then you know what though? He's in his 80s.
He's 90.
Y'all expect him to be.
He's 90.
Okay,
oldest
there
man.
you go. Y'all expect him to be svelte at 90? Come on.
That's what I agree with you. All right, is this truth, lies, or is this shenanigans? I'm going with some truth and shenanigans, I guess.
Truth and shenanigans.
Mostly
listen, you give me 60, $70 billion and see what I do. And see what I do. Y'all can be talking a lot of shit about me.
Lady Annie Burrell said, I agree so much more could be done with this useless money spent. Cool experience, but I want to get that one in there. All right. Let's get on to our next quick fire topic. All right, this is Rob B.
All right. So this week, a Calgary, Alberta street pastor was fined $23,000 and placed on 18 months of probation after being convicted of contempt for violating Alberta's COVID-19 rules. So Pastor Arthur Pulowski was charged along with his brother David and Christopher Scott, who's the owner of the Whistle Stop restaurant where Pulowski preached. As part of their probation, the brothers are required to obey public health orders, stay within Alberta unless receiving approval to leave the province, 3, express to their followers that their views are contrary to the current health orders and acknowledge that their views are not aligned with the views of the health experts. They've actually been provided a script that they must follow up. If they post anything or if they speak any anti-science, they've got a script that they need to visit. So does the punishment fit the crime?
Let's start with Lizzie.
I don't think so, actually. If we want to, like, I don't know what the Constitution is like in Canada, what the free speech laws are like in Canada. But I know if I was spewing out the same type of rhetoric, they would make me say, okay, you got to do this. Each time you violate this particular order,
Mhm.
you have to do this. And so I understand the intent. I do think these people should be shut down. But as far as what I grew up with in terms of the Constitution and free speech, I don't know if I like this. I
Yeah,
don't know if I like this.
I'm with Lizzie on this one. Honestly, I think it borders on propaganda. If someone doesn't believe something, they shouldn't be forced to say something they don't believe. Social media being privately owned is one thing, and they can self-police their content if they want. But particularly when it comes to government intervention, I believe people should be able to speak what they believe, no matter how much the government disagrees or if it potentially causes, even if it potentially causes death. Because if I wanted to preach freedom and equality, or by any means necessary, I should have the right to convince people to my point of view. And I say instead of silencing people, you just have to preach louder and better than them. Um, that's what I think. Gianni?
Mhm.
That's a good point. But I still don't change my mind. I think that his punishment does kind of fit the crime because you got to think about it. What if, like, for example, when Trump was spewing out a whole bunch of things that didn't align with the health officials? So it's like especially this man, he was told twice. I think you said, Rob, told he broke court orders twice. So
It's been an ongoing issue. Yeah.
yeah, so
But that's the
I
price.
think the punishment was right. He's if
That's the price you
especially if
pay
he's
with.
becoming like influential to people in his what is he, a church? Oh yeah, in his church,
He's
especially
a
if he's
street
becoming
pastor. Yeah.
influential to people.
All right,
Yeah.
Robbie.
But you're right, the script is a little extreme. Um
Mhm.
but I understand it. I understand why. You're just trying to like reinforce the fact.
All right, Robbie. I'm gonna give you about 20 seconds. Go ahead.
So while I agree that the courts are trying to force a more balanced conversation, that if you're spewing rhetoric, then you need to back it with facts that may counter it. But I'm with Liz and Neo that it gets dangerously Orwellian. It gets very close to the thought police. And that kind of rubs me the wrong way. And we need to be careful about that because, what's going to stop them from applying it to perhaps a subject that I don't agree with and shutting me down. Um, I, although this is a public health crisis and Alberta is essentially our Texas, they're the ones that are fucking it up the worst in Canada. So because of people like this and this kind of misinformation. So I
That's
agree that we
interesting.
need to shut these people down, but maybe this isn't the best way to do it. They didn't want to give him too much jail time because they didn't want to martyr him. But you know what? If he's in jail, then unfortunately, that's a federally run institution with a lot of rules about the COVID vaccines where
Yeah.
you may not have a choice in the matter.
All right. So gave you a little more time because there's very few comments on this. Oh, Sherry Blaine Priest says I agree with Robbie Rock. Um, and then I see some commentary about Remy Cat knocking over Liz's
Yeah,
router.
yeah, that's why I'm sorry, guys. That's why I was gone for like, a good 60 seconds. Remy knocked over the router, which, everything got disconnected. And so it was a frozen screen. And I'm sitting here laughing, like, will you stop? And he's looking at me like, will you pay attention to me?
Mhm.
So, so yeah, so
All right,
yeah.
there was
I
one
gave
more
him some
comment that
food. He's
came up.
good.
There was one more comment. Jacqueline Robb says this will be a slippery slope if we aren't careful and we rely on people's discernment and wisdom in cases like this.
Not
So,
black people. We can't. Not black people.
truth, lies, or shenanigans.
Mm,
Some truth
A little
and
truth in
shenanigans
there,
for
a
me.
little truth,
I don't know.
There's
All
definitely
of
some
them?
truth,
a little
truth out of shenanigans.
shenanigans. Oh, Gianni, you got all three. I see Lizzie's got shenanigans. Okay.
Because that street preacher is full of shit, so there is some lies too, for
Oh,
sure.
absolutely,
Yeah, there are some
absolutely.
lies.
You
A little
Yeah,
know,
a
bit of
lot of
all.
and
lies to.
Yeah.
I mean, my
A lot of
ex-boyfriend
lies.
was full of shit. So,
All right,
what
Lizzie.
can you do? What
Let's
can you
get to
do?
our third quick fire. You wanted to talk
Third
Kyrie
quick
Irving.
fire. Woo, Lord. Let's talk about the flat earther of the century. So, Kyrie Irving is an NBA player. He currently plays for, or he's not playing, for the Brooklyn Nets. And he has decided steadfastly that he will not take the vaccine. Problem is, in the state of New York, if you are going to participate in any type of indoor activity, entertainment, what have you have to be vaccinated. Okay. And so his team, the Brooklyn Nets, made a statement this week saying until he gets vaccinated, he will not be allowed to practice with the team or play in any games, preseason games or regular season games. The regular season starts next week on the 19th. So, my question to the panel is, are you standing with the unvaccinated flat earther? Or are you siding with the state of New
Sounds
York
so unattractive.
and Kyrie Irving? Let's go to Rob first.
I got to stand by the Nets and the state of New York on this one. Kyrie Irving's net worth is $90 million. This man doesn't have to play a game to get paid, and he can make stupid decisions and stupid statements. He's choosing to be unemployed for his beliefs rather than looking out for the well-being of his teammates and their support personnel. And I'm thinking that he did get called out when he did make his initial statements about the earth being flat, and then he apologized for it. Didn't change his stance. He apologized for saying it out loud. So the man does not have a firm grasp on scientific evidence.
Reality.
So now that he's got some spare time and money to burn, take some aviation lessons. You'll learn instrumentation, and you'll find that the earth is not flat. Challenge.
All right. I say here's the I'm standing with the NBA and the Brooklyn Nets and was that you said New York? But
New
with
York.
that being said, he has the right not to take the vaccine. And the NBA, of course, has the right to say, fine, you can't play. Now, I'll reiterate, I'm an advocate for the vaccine because it saves lives, but this vaccine is unlike any other vaccine. It was rightfully rushed through approvals, and the way it works is not like a typical vaccine from the past. So we're not taking the same old vaccine we've taken, like when you get the flu vaccine. So it's reasonable for someone not to want to take the vaccine, but it's also reasonable for him to lose his job because of it for the greater good. You don't want to if you don't want to take it, fine. You want to risk death, fine. Don't put me in danger because of your choices. And on top of that, most anti-vaxxers are also anti-maskers anyway. So they just put me
Can
in
I
danger
just jump
doubly.
in? Can I just jump in here before Gianni talks because you said lose his job? He's not about to lose his job. He's about to lose half of his salary for this season, which would be 17 million. So in addition to the 90 plus that Rob just mentioned, he would still be getting 17 million. But go ahead,
All right,
Gianni.
20
Go ahead.
seconds, Gianni. 20 seconds.
Honestly, I'm team anybody fighting for a cause that they're truly affected from. So I feel like with Kyrie though, unfortunately, like we've talked about this before, a lot of people feel like him in respect to the vaccine and the mistrust of science in general, um, which I'm not necessarily like on their side about, but I understand it, of course. When it comes to Kyrie, though, that's tough because I feel like I'm on his side, but I do feel like he has a lot of influence. So if he is saying something that is negative or anything, obviously, just like Nicki Minaj, people are going to listen to him. But at the same time, we're in an age where people are not as dumb anymore. Like there's definitely a lot of fake news. There's definitely a lot of propaganda, but people are starting to use their own mind. And I feel like when he is going against this mandate, or is it mandated to take the vaccine?
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mandate.
When he's going
In the
against
state of New
this,
York, yep.
yeah, when he's going against this, it kind of is showing people to question authority, which we've always done, but in a different way. So I don't know. I'm biased as always.
Okay.
I'm biased on this
So
flat earther.
Jacqueline Robinson says, I think corporate media needs to stop amplifying every dumbass and asinine statement idiots make. New York City has a very clear mandate in place. Also, I think some folks need to stop trying to equate him with Muhammad Ali, which is offensive on so many levels. Uh,
Boom.
um, Lizzie, I see you said, do not trust flat earthers. Ephraim Haile Selassie says, I support the state of New York's stand. Um, Lady Annie Burrill says, when a virus closes the whole world, I stand with the state. Agree with the flight lessons. Saima Fatima, get vaccinated, bigger than one person.
So
All
let me
right.
just finish up with this because we're going to carry this conversation into the after show. But for those of you who are not sports fans, who are not familiar with Kyrie, he's a problem child even outside of this.
Yeah.
So I'll talk about that more on the
Our
after
after
show.
show. So check the after show, TLSfans.com, to hear more. All right. Is this truth, lies, or shenanigans?
Ooh, bullshit. I keep forgetting to do my bullshit. But this is Truth and Shenanigans.
It's
And
truth and shenanigans for me also.
what are you saying, Gianni?
Truth and lie.
Got shenanigans. All right. That was fun. Fun, quick fire discussions. Right?
It was quick. It
Yeah.
was quick.
That was
It felt quick. It's been a little while.
Felt
It felt quick. Felt quick. All right. For today's sponsor for quick fire is it's I Am God's Own. The brand IAGO provides faith-based apparel and accessories with something to offer for everyone of all ages. Visit them on Facebook at IAGO Brand LLC or use the link in the description. All right, now let's get a